And let's get started here. I appreciate you, you guys being so punctual and showing up early, and I very much appreciate that. So let's get started here. We have Amanda Cruz, we have Melissa, we have Nellie, and we have Sarah. Is that correct?
Yep. Yep.
We're all there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Go ahead and keep your microphones unmuted so that if you have anything you want to ask me, I'm going to try and make this really, really fast so that you guys just get an overview, and then I'm going to tell you what steps we need to take after this, as long as everything seems like it's something that works with you and your life and your personal situation. You know, this is not like a full-time job. This is just something that you can use to supplement your life. And the hours are super flexible. We would like to have 6 agents so that the phone is always going to be answered at some time between 8 in the morning and 10 o'clock at night. So let's get started here. We're in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. I know that doesn't sound glamorous, but it is a really cool town. It's a haunted Victorian town in the Ozark Mountains. And this is our building. It's 110 years old. It's this old Gothic stone church that we've converted into a Victorian salon. And my wife and I have been doing the show for 9 years now. Before that, we performed in Branson, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. We were on Penn and Teller's Fula a couple years ago. And things are going really well, but we have a lot of phone calls, and it's usually with people that have questions about our show, or they just don't feel like they can purchase the tickets online themselves. And so what we need is just phone agents that are going to be able to help them. Just so you know, we have 2 different shows. This is the big show that we do, which is more stage illusions. We build a brick wall and I walk through it, and she comes out and does her ghost talker. And the video that you just saw is a promotion for this. This show happens on Thursdays and Saturdays for the most part. And this one is a show that's geared more for smaller groups, Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and Sunday afternoons. But it's important that you guys, like at the beginning of every week, you just come in here to the website and you get a feel for what's going on. I mean, outside of the summer, this is kind of the schedule. It's just Fridays and Saturdays. Friday's the close-up show, and Saturday is the big show. But this weekend, it's Memorial Day weekend, so we're doing a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday show because a lot of people have Monday off. Next week, we're doing a special Thursday show that we wouldn't normally do because we're having a group come in. So on Monday, it's always a good idea to come in here and just see what's coming up for the week so that when people call, they can say, you know, do you have a show tonight? And you'll know. I can give you a couple examples of when things went terribly wrong with our agents. It's not me complaining. It's just what I'd like to have a repeat. Like one time we had a lady answer the phone. We said, yeah, do you have a show tonight? She didn't know that we did. And so she told the guy no. And by the time I listened to the call and found out she had given him bad information, I had one of the other agents call them back, and he had already bought tickets to another show. And, you know, so that cost me $60 because she didn't know what our schedule was and what the situation was. I guess, you know, if you don't know if we have a show that night, you probably don't want to answer the phone, or at least get on the website while they're on the phone and make sure you know what the situation is before you give them an answer. So, all right, I've already told you this is not a full-time job, but this is a situation where you'll have the app, the CallRail app, on your phone, and you'll be able to, when you get a phone call, you'll know it's from us. You just set the caller ID accordingly. And then you answer the phone in a nice professional manner. I'll get into that in a second. Answer any questions they have. And that's in the follow-up training. I've got a couple of the basic ones, but it's pretty common sense. And then you take their order online. Every 2 weeks, like on the 31st, the 15th and the 31st of every month, we go ahead and tally up every second that you're on the phone and divide it by 60, so we know how many minutes you're on the phone. And then we pay you 42 cents a minute, which if it's 60 minutes, it ends up being $25.50 for an hour. So what we would need from you is to go to your bank and tell them that you want to connect your account with Zelle. And so what that does is they'll either ask you, do you want to use your phone number or your email address as the login or the ID for your bank account? Then you give us that, and then we're able to instantly put the money in your account on the 15th and the 31st of every month. And it's worked amazing for the people that work for us that set that up. The basic goal when you answer the phone is get the sale. Some people might ask you about the town, Eureka Springs and whatnot, and you could say that, you're not too familiar, and then I will make sure that you have a phone number for the visitor center in Eureka Springs, because we've had agents where they spend 10 or 12 minutes telling them about restaurants and different things, but really your guys' main objective is to sell them tickets to our show and answer any questions that they have. Now, there's something that I don't know that could be really understated, but the one comment that we get from a lot of the people who own businesses in town, when they're talking to visitors about our show, the restaurant owner says this is what they hear from their guests. They go, "Oh yeah, we saw that in Intrigue Theater. I had no idea there was that kind of show in this town. I just had no idea." And there's a lot of people, I think, that come to our show not knowing what to expect. And I don't know if you could tell from the video, but it's like an old world turn of the century magic show, but the magic is not outdated. In fact, it fools a lot of magicians that come to see our show. And it's just a fact. So if sometimes people come out of there saying that's better than anything I saw in Las Vegas, and if they tell people that, that's kind of scary, because then people come to our show expecting to see a Las Vegas show. So we don't ever make that claim ourselves, although some people are out there. We don't ever try and describe our show as a magic show, because we do cut a lady in half, but it's on a Civil War era surgical table, so it's a lot bigger and better than traditional magic. We aren't pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Oh, we're getting a couple more people here. We are making a recording of this, and it'll make it available to all you guys after the call, so that if you want to go through it, you can. But basically, what we do is we don't want people to feel like they can just buy tickets at the door. We've had people say, a half hour before the show, "Do you have any good seats left? All right, I'll just buy them at the door." Well, our theater only seats 110 people. So if they buy at the door, it causes a lot of trouble for our staff that are already trying to get the people in the door that already have tickets. So we want people to buy tickets online, and the tickets at the door are $5 more. We're trying to incentivize people to buy tickets. And, they're committed. If they say, "Oh, we'll buy them at the door," but then something comes up, they end up not coming to the show. So it's just good sales that if people say, "Do you have any tickets available for tonight?" Let me see if we have anything available, because our show does sell out. It's not a lie. So, technically we do sell out on Saturday nights, but let me see what I can do. Those kind of words psychologically tell people you're going to do your best to accommodate them, but you can't promise anything, and therefore you don't even have to sell it. If you talk like that, if you use those kinds of expressions. And again, when I get the scripting, I will definitely put these key phrases in there. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far? Nope. Oh, okay. I'll just keep going. All right. I'll keep going here. The phone script. When you're answering the phone, keep in mind you're like the first impression that our customers will have for our business. We spend a lot of money to make the phone ring with our marketing and our advertising. And so we don't want people to just answer the phone. Intrigue Theater, it's like, "Thank you for calling Intrigue Theater. My name is Marcy. How may I help you?" And then whatever they say, do you have a show tonight? "Yes, we have a 8 p.m. show. I can see if there are any tickets available. How many are you looking for?" That type of thing. We really, we want to have the most professional appearance. Now, I may have told some of you on the phone, if you're in your car and you want to answer the call, you can do that as long as it's not noisy and it's not obvious that you're in the car. We would never want you to disclose that, but if you feel comfortable about taking a call, you can, because you don't have to write things down. All the calls are being recorded, and in a moment I'll show you how we can go in and listen to the calls, and then you could actually get information and process the call afterwards. You have that option. I'm not saying that you have to or you should, but you could if you do want to get paid for the call. and I'll show you how that works. For the seating that you're selling, the tickets, we have a front row, which is $39.95, and that's people in the front row. They get a non-alcoholic beverage, which is, sodas or water or whatever. And they have the best possibility of having a part in the show, being selected to come up on stage or having some interaction with the ghosts during the Ghost Talker segment. Premium section, that is the second row, $31.95, no drink with that. And again, those people have a really good possibility of being involved in the show. General seating, $25.95. That seating starts in the third row. And this seating and the family pass is just for the Ghost Talker show, where we have seating up to 110 people for those shows. If it's the Up Close and Incredible show, we're looking at just these two seating options right here, VIP and premium. Another thing that I would like you to get in the habit of is when you take a call, very first thing you should say is, in the event we get disconnected, is the number that I see on my caller ID the best number to call you back at? And the reason is sometimes people call from work. If they're calling from the phone in the break room at Home Depot and we try and call back to save the sale, we have no idea who called. So it's always good to make sure that, whatever number they're calling from, that's the best number to reach them at. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I already went through this at the beginning of each week. It's good to know what shows are happening when. All you need to do is just go into the website and just check out, so they're doing shows Friday and Saturday and Sunday. The show on Friday is the Close-Up show, and the shows on Saturday and Sunday are the Ghost Talker show. This is the Close-Up show, and these are the big show. And it's just good for you to know that. So it just saves you any trouble from having to look things up while you're on the call with them. So let's see here. When you're doing it, try to keep any visitor information requests brief and short. And if you don't live in Eureka Springs, you're not really on the hook to answer that. Yeah, but you probably, if you want to answer as many calls as possible, just try and get it through as quickly and as efficiently as possible. This kind of comes out of the, I'll get into this a little later. We do have a small parking lot. So if people ask if we have parking, we do have a small parking lot. It only accommodates about 12 cars at the most. We have lots of parking on the streets, but parking in general is very scarce in Eureka Springs. So if they're asking and they're worried about them, tell them it definitely pays to get there by 7:15 and the show starts at 8. We tell people the doors open at 7:30 and we always try and open them a little bit sooner, a half hour before showtime. Again, I know I'm moving through this kind of quickly, but this is just an overview, and then I will tell you how we're going to take things to the next step with this whole process. We do have some discount codes, and like one of them is save the sale, spelt out like this with no spaces. And that is if somebody's hemming and hawing and they don't know if they really can make it to the show or if they want to do it, you can say, well, you know what, let me see if there's any discounts. I do actually see that we have a promotional discount that can save you 10%. If I was to ring you up right now, is that something you'd like to take advantage of? And I will show you how to do that. And again, it's just to try and never, ever lose a sale because they're going to enjoy the show, but sometimes they just need an extra kick. Frequently asked questions. A lot of times is, well, it's the day of the show. How am I going to pick up tickets? The answer is they will be waiting for you at the door under the name that you ordered them. So if John Smith is on the phone with you, he's giving you his credit card information, there's going to be tickets with the name John Smith on them at the front door. I didn't get my email confirmation. More than likely it's in their spam folder. You can tell them that, but also they don't really need the email because, we're going to have their tickets for them at the door. Big, most common question is this show appropriate for children? It's not a scary show, but it is an amazing show. We didn't write it so that, people could drop off their kids and the kids would have a great time. So there's no bunny rabbits, there's no sponge balls. There's, it's a sophisticated show. But the thing that we hear the most often from adults that see the show is, oh God, we can't wait to come back and we got to bring our kids, because they know that it's not too scary and it's something that their kids will enjoy. So I guess let's go to CallRail and I will show you the interface of how we manage our calls here. So you'll have access to get into to our accounts with CallRail, more than likely on your phone. So let's go in here. I manage a lot of different marketing for a lot of different companies, but I'm going to sort it out. So these are all the calls that we've had. Let's see here. Over the last 30 days. This is not even the busy time of year, and we've had 221 calls for the last 30 days. So Lee is very good at coming in here, and what she does is, this person, she tags them with these tags. Oh, this is somebody who returned a call. Oh, I sold tickets. That means this person doesn't need to be called back. But you can listen to what happened. I don't know if anybody. Are you able to hear this, guys?
I can't hear anything now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You could hear the call?
Yeah, I can hear you. No.
Oh, no, we can't hear the call.
Oh, you can't. All right. Let me see if I can tweak my sound settings. Let's see here. Okay, audio settings. Let's see, audio, microphone, speaker. I didn't think about sharing the audio of my my screen with you. So when I was playing the YouTube video earlier, guys, of the show, were you able to see that? Or were you able to hear it?
No,
Yeah.
we could not hear it.
No, I couldn't hear the call.
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, you're going to be able to go in here and listen to these calls, and it's basically, you'll be able to hear the person that answered the call, and we can determine if something happens. So there's going to be times where if you want to pick up extra minutes, you can come in here and you can look at it. For instance, here's one right here. This call was abandoned. Nobody answered this call. So you could go in here, you could click call it back, and this would be done on your cell phone. And the first maybe 6 times you're going to want to do this so that the call is recorded so that we know what happened on that call. All right. So this is how you can pick up extra minutes, by going in and returning any of the calls where people have left a message. For instance, if you look for this icon right here, that means somebody, left a message. And but Lee, one of our agents, she put a tag here, which you can do. These are just like quick things to let people know what happened from that call. And you could say sold tickets or whatever. But this is a fast way to let any other agent know what happened with that call. So, and I can get into that in another training. So you answer the phone, and people, they say, yeah, do you have tickets for the show tonight? So let's assume that it's Friday night, okay? Or maybe Saturday night. By the way, I'm getting my website updated. So here we go. Well, let's go with the Sunday night show. All right. So you would just go to intriguetheater.com, and actually it's going to get changed to a different domain. And so here you are on Sunday. You'd say, yes, we have a show tonight. And according to this, it says all our tickets are available. These have to be updated. We only offer 2 family passes for the big show, because that's bringing in 5 people for a highly discounted rate. But you can look in here and say, yes, we've got a few tickets available. How many are you looking for? You say, well, what do you got? You say, well, we've got VIP seating. That's $39.95, and that's in the front row, and it includes a drink, non-alcoholic. We've got premium seating. And you just rattle through the prices, and these are all before tax. So they say they want 2 VIP. Just go like that, add to cart. And let's see here. Let me just eliminate that one. That was from me doing testing earlier on. Okay, so you got that. If you were needing to do a save the sale to save the deal, because maybe they're hemming and hawing, you could do save the sale and then apply coupon. And let's see. Yep, it took off 10%. So that's how you would do that. Obviously, you don't do that if you don't have to, but if somebody needs just an extra nudge to get them to commit, and we'll talk about that in the next training. Okay, so we update the carts. Oh, no. Okay, proceed to checkout. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done this. Okay, so here you are in the checkout. You get name. last name, county, the street address. Street address is not super critical. If you're in a hurry, you can do a period. Obviously, you're getting paid for every second. So if you do have the time to give us that information, that is helpful. You got to have the town, you got to have the state, you got to have the zip code, phone number, email address. And when they give you the email address and the phone number, what is the best phone number that we can reach you if we need to anytime on the day of the performance? Excuse me. And the reason is sometimes things happen and we need to get a hold of people. And if they give us their home address or their home phone number and they're in Eureka Springs the day of the show with their cell phone, we have no way of getting a hold of them. With their email address, we want them to give us the absolute best email address so that we can send them confirmation and a receipt. And you gotta say it that way. Otherwise, a lot of us have junk emails that we don't check and we don't want to be bothered with stuff, but we really do need to be able to get a hold of them. Possibly the day of the show. And so that's really important. Okay. And then there's one other really important one, and I'm not seeing it here, but there will be a drop-down option that says, how did you, okay. My developer, I think maybe, okay. The meeting's going to end in 10 minutes, but that's okay. So, here we go. In the additional information, if you can just put your name so that we can tell when the order comes in, who placed the order, and then you just read this. Due to the limited seating capacity of our venue, all sales are final. Do I have your permission to proceed? And when they say yes, just go ahead and click place order, and just let them know that they will be getting an email confirmation. It's not critical. If you want to print it out for your peace of mind to let you, to have something in hand, that's fine. But your tickets will be waiting for you the day of the performance under the name that you purchased the tickets. And so that's pretty much it. Let me go to my notes here and see if there's a few other things. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the reason that we get the email, the phone number is, let's say I need to change this show from a big show to a small show because we don't have enough people to do the big show. I will take one of the agents that I feel does a really good job and is really responsive and is easy to get a hold of, and I will say, we're going to have to do a change of programming. Can you contact all the guests? And it might be 12, 15 people. And if I send you a text and you say yes, then I'm going to email you the list of everybody coming, and I just need you to call them outbound with your CallRail app and let them know that there's been a change of programming. And so that's a way of picking up extra work. And then also in the past, with our agents, we've also given them extra work as virtual assistants, like doing updates for our Instagram page, our Facebook page. I've hired them to populate our website with new events or writing articles, or even scraping data from other websites for other marketing ventures that we're doing. So, please let me know after the call and an email if you're interested in this kind of work, and I'll definitely keep you in mind. Okay, so yeah, and then this is a scheduling thing. Once we bring you guys on board, I'm going to ask you, what is your preferred time of day to take calls? And then I'm going to have you as maybe a priority caller, like your phone will ring during that time of the day. So if I have a morning person in Georgia that prefers to answer between, 8 a.m. and noon, the phone will ring for her first. Obviously, people that are more on the West Coast, they don't want their phone ringing at 6 o'clock in the morning, but they will be, if it's ringing Central Time at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock, the Western states would probably be the people that I would want it. So I'm going to try and set it up that way. But once I do, if for whatever reason, you can't answer calls in the morning, if that's your block of time that I have you as a preferred agent, please let me know so I can put somebody else in the queue so that we know that somebody's going to answer the phone. So I'm going to wrap things up here because I think I'm going to lose you guys. Oh, I've got 6 minutes left. Here we go. With the next step is, by the way, anybody that came to the call late, I'm going to do a follow-up email to all of you, and I will give you a link so that you can watch this video after the fact to hear anything that you missed or came in late for. so that you can get all the information. But the next steps are send me an email if you like what you hear, you want to do this, and then I will send you a W-9 for taxes. We need you to coordinate with your bank to get a Zelle login so that we know how to access your account and deposit money into it. And also on the subject of payment, if you guys are new to Upwork and you want points, if you want us to create a job on Upwork for whatever the amount is that you've earned in the first 2 weeks, we can pay you through Upwork and then give you glowing feedback if that's going to help your cause. Or we just immediately send it right through Zelle to your bank account. Your choice. And so then after we get your Zelle login and a W-9 back from you, I will get you the CallRail app on your phone and set up as a caller. And then I would like to do a little bit more comprehensive training where we can actually go through with the app on the phone in our hand and go through the website and navigate it so that you guys feel like you have all the information that you need. So I guess with that, we've got 5 minutes left before this call is going to be terminated. Do you guys have any questions?
Yes, Sean. This is Gia. I had to come in. I got stuck on a call.
Okay.
I came in a little bit late. So I got the gist of everything. I just wanted to know if you said to submit any information into that if you wanted to go through Upwork to do it that way. And then on top of that, the script for the VIP and all that, you probably went over it, and I do apologize if I'm asking again. Are we going to get a copy of your preferred way to answer and everything?
Oh, yeah. That'll be in the second. That'll be in the follow-up training. I will give you a script, first of all, how to answer the phone, and then the frequently asked questions. I'll come up, and you know what? It's not going to be more than 2 pages because, I can probably count on one hand the most common questions. And there's going to be questions that they're going to give you that you guys are under no obligation to answer. Guy wants to find out where the best roads are to ride on his Harley through the Ozark Mountains. You could say that's outside the scope of this call, and I'm really not qualified to answer that question, but I do have the phone number for the visitor center, and I'm sure they'd be able to help you with that. So we want to be helpful and courteous, but we're not the Chamber of Commerce or the visitors.
Right. Sad. Okay, that was my question, I believe.
Yep, but that's a great question. So the script and the FAQs, like I said, it's going to be very easy for you guys to remember them and understand them after, reading through it.
I'm sorry. One more question. The call rail. Can you do that through Upwork?
I don't believe. I guess I don't understand your question.
When you have some jobs in Upwork, they have a way that you can go on, accept the job, and do it there, so they can not see what you're doing, but monitor your time. Okay.
Well, CallRail, like for instance here, this was Lee that took this call. And if we look right here, can you guys see this? She was on the phone with him for 5 minutes and 47 seconds. She's going to get paid for every one of those seconds.
Okay.
And so at the end of 2 weeks, I go in and I create a report. Okay.
Okay.
And so then it gives me all of your seconds. I get, the amount of time per agent, and then I just take the full number of seconds, I divide it by 60, so I know how many minutes. We multiply it times 42 cents, and then, 42 cents times 60 minutes is $25.50.
Okay, that was crystal clear, and I'll send you an email if I think of anything else.
Okay, perfect. Does anybody, I have 2 minutes left, and Zoom has never given me this time limit, time constraint, but we've got a lot of potential great rock star agents here on the line, and maybe that's why I have that limitation. So does anybody else have any questions?
I don't think so at this point. Pretty sure.
Okay, well then I guess to
No, I don't.
What was that? Hello?
I
Okay.
said I don't have any questions.
Okay, great. So then what I need from you guys is a follow-up email to tell me if you want to move forward and be brought on board. And then I will send you the W-9 and we will, I'd probably like to do the next training in, if not tomorrow, Thursday, probably Thursday, because I'll be in the theater all day tomorrow.
Sounds good.
So,
Okay, will
all right.
it be the same time?
Okay.
It could be if 4 o'clock is easy for everybody.
I may get stuck on a call.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
you know what? I don't mind just getting on the phone and going over this personally with anyone who can't show up for the meeting. And like I said, we can record the next call as well. So you could just review that and then contact me with any questions.
Nope, I'll give it my best effort. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So everybody, I will get a copy of this. I will upload it to YouTube, and then I will send everybody a follow-up with that link so you can watch this if you want again. And please let me know if you want to move forward. And I'd like to thank you all for your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time,
Thank
Sean.
you.
All right. Have a great
Have a
night.
great
Thanks
day.
so much. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Two.